All right, Fight Insight fans. Okay, on today's episode, we have a very special guest who created and runs a smoothie subscription company. We recap UFC 262, preview UFC Fight Night Font versus Garbrandt, and speak about Dynasty Gyms, and reveal our Fight On Site vegan edition, and a whole lot more. Tim, hit it.
Oh, I pressed the wrong thing again.
Yeah, it's Timmy B, Prince D, Fight Insight. Yeah, that's right.
All right, here we go, Prince. Our guest today is the founder of Living Farmacy, an online smoothie subscription company in Toronto. Living Farmacy also provides smoothies to restaurants, cafes, and was the smoothie provider of choice for the RBC executives and the pro golfers at the Canadian Open in 2018 and 2019. Kim is a mother of two. Her family has an aversion to eating veggies and therefore is skilled at hiding them. She's a change management consultant by trade with a passion for nutrition and conscious and mindful living. She believes that eating healthy, unprocessed meals is the foundation to activate our own innate healing abilities. She created Living Farmacy to help make eating healthy, easy, and delicious. She taps into her own intuition and does her own research to come up with the unique smoothie flavor combinations. Her smoothies take less than 60 seconds to make. You literally just add water and blend it. You don't even need an expensive blender. You could just use a fork. Ladies and gentlemen, from Toronto, we want to welcome Kim Chung.
Hi.
Welcome, Kim.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Good. Thank you for coming. The intro was exactly correct. Your smoothies are amazing.
Thank
I
you.
got mine right here going on.
And I
Prince, you got
mine over
yours?
there.
Yeah.
Got clarity over here.
And mine is Flow.
Power. Is it yellow or orange?
It's yellow.
It's Power.
Power. Oh, my mistake.
Yes, it's Power.
Wait, the Flow is the one that's the mango one?
Yes, it's the mango cardamom one with butternut squash.
Yeah, that is my favorite one, actually. But I'm drinking
Awesome.
this one today. But they're all amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's really amazing to have you. Prince, I met Kim, or I was introduced to Living Farmacy back at the Toronto Home Show.
Yes.
Many
The One of a
years
Kind
ago.
show.
The One of a Kind show. That's right. And
Yeah.
I tried the smoothies from there, and immediately I was hooked. It's amazing. So I have my bag here that I got that day. See, Kim? I got that. It's my little, what do you call it? Keeps your drinks cold. Insulated. Yeah, my little insulated
lunch
bag.
bag.
And I was able to take my smoothies home from the show with that. So thank you so much. How's everything? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yeah. So, Prince, did you want to start with the question?
Yeah. So, we'll start with the questions. So, Kim,
Sure.
I guess the first question is, so what is Living Farmacy and how did you get started?
So Living Farmacy is a wellness-based company, and we make smoothies. I got started about 5 years ago. It took me about a year to develop the product, but it really, stemmed from an inspiration for my kids. They were underweight, specifically my youngest one, and the pediatrician had recommended a drink that starts with a P and tastes nasty. And I just really couldn't give that to her. So what I did was I did some research, but I also did a lot of experimenting, and I came up with a smoothie formula for her to basically fatten her up. So I added 100% Greek yogurt, like the fattiest one that you can find on the market, kale, avocados, and pineapple and spinach. And I fed that to her consistently. And so she gained the weight through that. And so that really, created the foundation, the inspiration for me to create this company. I knew that, there was an opportunity to create healthy foods and to have a really good balance of vegetables inside the food. And to make it easy for people. So that's what I did. And so I hired a team of food scientists, some culinary chefs, and we got started on making this product. And I had 5 criteria for them. The first one was at least 2 servings of fruits and vegetables. It can't taste nasty, has to taste amazing. I wanted to also make sure that it was easy for people. So you didn't need to have an expensive blender. As Tim mentioned, a fork will do. And I wanted the shelf life to be, as long as possible. So that's why we decided to do a frozen format without the use of preservatives. So came up with the 3 initial flavors with the food scientists and chefs. And then I came up with the other 2, the power and the flow, kind of like through in my intuitive insights.
And you know what I like about it? It's like so Living Pharmacy. How did you come up with the name? Actually,
okay, so it took me a few years to come up with the name.
Oh wow!
Kim, we've talked about that about our podcast too. It didn't take us 2 years, but one of the hardest things about setting this up was coming up with the name.
That's right.
But your name is awesome. So how did you get
it? Thank you. So I know that the product that I wanted to create was something that was healing. And I'm a really keen student of nutrition and quantum healing and all of that kind of stuff. So I also know that when we treat our bodies well, we actually activate our own body's innate ability to heal itself. So I wanted to have something with the farm. So I came up with, pharmacy is not, you see that sometimes, right? It's not something special, but the pharmacy with sounds like it's farm foods, but the living was the important component of the name, because when we're also truly living our purpose and feeding our bodies with good things, then we become our own healers. And that's what really the name is about. And my intention with this product is to activate the pharmacy within you. That's
dang. That is very deep, Kim. No, and then so I want to ask about like I do want you to be able to say what the flavors are and things like that.
Sure.
But before we do, that's the thing that really appealed to me about your product, because of how good it tastes and how different they taste. Each one, and I'm pretty sure I've tried all of them, even the 2 new ones that you had recently. But each of them have a very delicate balance between the fruit, which is like your normal smoothies, but then it also has it has an herb or something, like the strawberry one with the basil.
That's
and
correct.
You can taste the basil a lot, and it's such a unique flavor. The mango one that I said that's my favorite, it has the cardamom flavor. And so that one tastes really good. And then I've also mixed them up. Sometimes I'll use water, sometimes I'll use milk, depending on how I want it. But the reason why, that we feel like this was a good thing to have on our podcast specifically was because of the fact that they are so healthy. Like you said, with the 2 servings of fruits and vegetables, it's such a healthy thing for you to have. It's not like the ones that you can sometimes see in stores. When I look at them, I'm like, oh, wait a second, that's actually not even very good for you. And then so for Prince and myself, and for some of the people that are listening to us, they train in martial arts. And so they're looking for healthy alternatives. And when your life is on the go, and when it's difficult to find the ingredients or to purchase the ingredients to make smoothies yourself, and then you have such a mess at home. This is a great alternative. So can you let people know what are the different flavors that you have for the smoothie?
Yeah. So I base the initial core flavors on actually the chakra system, so the energy centers in our body. So it corresponds to those colors. So the first one is alive. So alive, I actually have it here, is strawberry, rhubarb, basil, and beet. So basically the smoothies look like this. They're frozen, and you just have to break it apart, put it in a glass, and add 180 mils of water. Not too much. Yours was a bit diluted.
Listen, that's directed towards me, because I showed her my guys. So everyone who's watching this, so I showed her my cup. She's like, "Pritch added too much water," and your typical guy move. You know what? Never read the instructions. Just pour it in and make it work. And you know what? I'll let you know now, Kim. I took a couple sips of it. I'm like, whoa. I'm feeling good because you know what, this whole day I don't know, with work I also so I'm a nurse, and you know what, there's just a lot of stuff going on at once, and that, you know, I had a
Yeah.
sip of it, and the thing is that the amount of vegetable intake that we have sometimes is not enough, even for myself, right? And so I mean,
Right.
having this, it was just it was like a booster, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. So guys, I really recommend anyone who's on the go, healthcare workers, guys, Clarity, yeah, that's the one. I'm wide awake now. Who needs coffee, right?
Exactly. So yeah, so Alive, the strawberry, rhubarb, basil, beets, celery, zucchini, pear, and apple. And so I reach for Alive personally when I feel like I need to feel more alive. So when I'm feeling a little bit sluggish, I want to boost my immunity. You know, Alive has a ton of vitamin C with the strawberries. And my kids and my husband, actually, that's their favorite smoothie, hands
Yeah.
down. That's the,
Yeah.
you know, quite frankly, that's the one that they reach for. So I actually love Alive with coconut milk. So if you have unsweetened coconut milk, I used to make this when I was sampling at the stores, and people were like, "Can I have some more?" Because it tastes like dessert. So it's like a dessert, a healthy dessert.
Nice.
Yeah. So Flow, great for digestion. It has butternut squash. It has cardamom. It has mangoes. It has lime. Um, Power is actually one of my favorites because it's the most diverse smoothie. It's a spiced pina colada. So it has pineapple, it has coconut. All of my smoothies have a little bit of pear juice concentrate. That's just evaporated pear juice, nothing else added. There's a fennel in Power. There's also ginger and turmeric. And I personally love to mix Power with cilantro.
Oh.
I know some people don't like cilantro, but cilantro and parsley, I blend it with that. Like, actually, I blend a cup of cilantro and a cup of parsley. And cilantro specifically is a heavy metal detoxifier. So it pulls out the heavy metals from your body. And I love Power for that reason, because it makes any green smoothie taste great. Love is my signature smoothie. It is when I made it, when I had the chefs kind of like help me experiment with the flavors, I said, I do not want it to taste like grass. It cannot taste like grass.
Yeah.
But there is 50% greens. That's my highest concentration of greens.
Yeah.
50% greens in the Love. It has kale, spinach, tarragon, fennel, celery, zucchini, pear, and pineapple. And that is my bestseller, actually. Love is my bestseller.
The green one is, so
is my bestseller.
So you know what I'll say, Kim? I have returned a lot of green smoothie powders to stores. Like, you know, when you go to like some of the health nutrition places and they say, oh, you buy it, and if you don't like it, you're gonna return it. I've kept trying to buy the green ones because you know it's good for you, and I keep returning it. I'm like, I can't do it. And when I saw yours, I remember I was like, ugh. I was like, I don't know, I've given up on that stuff. But when I did my first order with you, I said, okay, throw in one of the green ones.
Right.
After that, it's one of my favorites too, and I can't believe I like it. Even my wife is like, you're okay with that one? I'm like, no, it tastes so good. Like it's different. It's really, really good. Yeah. Yeah,
that is definitely my bestseller. And Clarity, people tell me it's like a virgin mojito, blueberry mojito, they say. Yeah. It has wild blueberries. So I use wild blueberries because it has twice the amount of antioxidants. There's spinach in there. There's rhubarb. There's raspberry. There's celery, zucchini, and pear, and mint. So the mint is what gave Clarity the name, because it's really refreshing. And so some of my customers, I won't lie, they add some alcohol to the smoothie sometimes. So they have it as a evening beverage. So that does happen. And some of my food service providers, they do the same thing. They charge an extra $8 for the alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, Kim, this is a rated PG podcast, so oh man, we're gonna have to cut that out.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. But Kim, what I wanted to ask you actually, so I mean, in terms of the health, I know you explained the health benefits and properties of your smoothies. anything that you're working on, like anything brand new, anything cooking in the kitchen that you're going to be looking into,
Yeah.
sharing?
Yeah, so I have two new smoothie flavors that I kind of just released to the subscribers. One is called Heal, and that has been pretty popular. So that it's like a secret stash that they asked me to include in their subscription. It's basically super green. It's 50% green. It has parsley. It has moringa in it as well. And it has like your zucchini, your pear, your pineapple. And then the other smoothie that I'm working on, I didn't quite get the formula quite right, but the next edition of it is going to be way amazing. It's basically called Joy, and it tastes like a vegan creamsicle. So it has clementines, orange, vanilla. It's going to have mangoes and pineapple in there. And there's also something called, what is that called? It just escaped me. Anyways, something really high in vitamin C, which I completely forgot at this moment.
Okay.
But Joy. And then I'm also looking at doing some rebranding, more social media presence, and also looking at creating some soups.
Okay.
So
Nice.
maybe for next winter, that's going to be released.
Hey Kim,
So
can I ask for?
vegan soup.
Can we make one request?
Sure.
Can you name one of your smoothies after Fight Insight, like the Fight Insight
Sure.
Super Power just for fighters? Like that,
Fight.
just right before you get into like a match or like a Muay Thai match or Jits match, you just take a little bit of this Fight Insight drink. Oh man, and just load it up with vitamin C. If you can have that by next week, that would be great.
By next week.
Well, okay. First of all, Kim, Prince isn't joking, so you're gonna need to get that done.
Okay. We can collaborate. I don't know about next week.
All right. The other thing though is when people purchase your smoothies, they're not getting it at stores. They go through your website. So I want to make sure that people understand how to get it.
Sure.
So where do people find you and how do they purchase it?
So they can find me at www.livingfarmacy.com. So pharmacy spelled Farmacy. They can purchase also a trial pack. So exactly what you have with the 5 smoothies. I'm doing a steep discount through Penguin Fresh Pickup. And so it's $20. You can pick it up in 23 locations until the end of May, or you can go on my website and purchase, and I can deliver direct to you. And just use the code FIGHT, and I will give you a 15% discount, and I'll add in some free samples as well.
Oh,
Nice.
very
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
So we will put all the links to that in our YouTube channel, in the YouTube comment section. So we'll put that there.
Perfect.
We'll also put your Instagram and your website as well, so that people know where to find you. In case people are listening to it on Spotify, Kim gave the address, but also just check out our YouTube and you can see it there. Kim, it's amazing. Like, I'm really glad that you came on. I can't believe that you didn't have a history of food service, or like you're not a chef by trade or anything like that.
I'm not a chef by trade. I'm not a nutritionist.
That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy that you just kind of create this and become an entrepreneur and then start to have the successful, subscription-based smoothie business. I mean, it's so interesting. I'm always shocked when people are able to kind of go off and do different things like this. And so this has become, And so, is there anything before we let you go? And again, I really appreciate you being able to come on. Is there anything else that you wanted to say or share?
The only thing that I'll share is that I really believe that how we treat our bodies are here to support us. So the more we feed it with good foods, fresh foods, we're going to vibrate high. You're going to have the energy to fight, and you're just going to have the energy to really be your best self. And that's really the inspiration that I, want this company to provide to people, regardless of whether or not they purchase the smoothies.
No. Thanks so much, Kim. And in the situation where we're in now, you're in Toronto with us, so we're locked down. We've been locked down forever. A lot of people during the whole quarantine last year and this year, your fitness and your taking care of yourself has kind of taken a dip. You know,
Right.
I know definitely for myself, my eating habits got way worse. My workout levels got less. And you look online and you see some people still working out and still doing what they can. But like, this is a really good addition to your normal daily routine, or, you know, your weekly routine, to get these smoothies in, because they're giving you so many vitamins and minerals, right? That your body needs, is like what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, I'm not gonna lie, man. This thing is like so good. Like, guys, don't get it
Thank
twisted.
you.
You don't need. I mean, if you overfill it with water, it's still good. Like, I can't. Like, I feel so awake. But Kim, you know what? Before we let you go, actually, I just wanted to ask one last question.
Sure.
So when's your next fight? And being an undefeated Muay Thai champion such as yourself, an MMA fighter, how does it feel, you know, having to run this multi-million-dollar business and also defending your title? How do you balance the two, Kim? Like, is there a shake that you take to balance both? Just the fighter insight viewers and listeners are curious.
Yeah. So I do drink a lot of smoothies. So the answer is yes, you know, and I rotate them. But I also do a lot of meditation as well. So I do spend a lot of time going inwards, and that really helps grounds me. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's it.
All right.
Mindfulness.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
mindfulness.
Thank you so much, Kim. We really appreciate you coming on so much.
Thank you
we
for
really
having me.
appreciate people should really check out your product. Check it out. Use the code FIGHT to get the discount. And thank you, Kim. We hope to have you back when you do have the soups, and when you have new products. Please think about coming back on.
For sure. And we are going to collaborate, right?
That's it. No, definitely, for sure. Yeah, it's with me, right? And we're gonna pack that up with like, and if there's one that we can make with full, like, absolutely made with 100% peanut butter. Oh my god,
peanut butter.
Yes, Kim, peanut butter. I don't know.
You love peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Let me tell you, you're gonna get your sales are gonna go through the roof if you get include peanut butter into your menu. But this right here, guys, clarity. Wow, 100%. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Kim. It was amazing. Nice to meet you, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. That is awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah, that was solid, man. Wow. You know what?
I'm telling you.
What?
I'm not kidding. You know, like we reach out to people to come on to be guests on the show. And I was thinking, you know, I want someone like that's going to bring like a food component or some sort of health component. We had, you know, Robbie Moss talking about his exercise programs and things like this. And I thought, you know, we got to find someone that's offering something healthy. And Kim was the first person that I thought of, and she was so gracious to come on. So I really appreciate it. And how cool is it? This is the first time we've ever had a business use our name, Fight, for the promo, right?
That's
for the
it.
discount.
That's it. And you know what?
It's pretty awesome.
I think we're definitely going to make an actual shake, an actual drink for fighters. Like, can you imagine it goes worldwide and just blows up, and it's the next thing. But yeah, Tim, you know what? Good call on this one, because I'm actually enjoying this smoothie. This actually is pretty good, actually, man. Like, I feel
of course,
right?
We're not kidding at all. And I'm just going to show you, because we didn't do it, but she showed you the package. What you're supposed to do. This is the package, right? When you cut it. When you cut the top and then put the smoothie out, you're supposed to just fill that package with water. So that's the exact same amount. You must have poured like a gallon, but you just pour that exact same amount, water, milk, whatever. And I'll tell you, I did do the alcohol thing one time.
Did you really,
many times.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Listen, that package is just like my pre-workout, baby. Don't read the label. Just pour it in.
As much as you can handle.
As much as you can handle, and not even like maybe half a water to 2 scoops is ratio, and that's it, right?
All right, so let's move on with the show. We want to talk about UFC 262. Good Lord.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, I was right on both the picks, the co-main and the main. I got those. But before we get to those guys, and we won't talk too long about them because we still got to talk about next week, but the Barboza fight. Yes. Insane, man.
Yeah. Talk about delayed.
So weird. So weird. I don't know what happened. I mean, Shane Burgos, right? The way he took the couple shots to the head, stands there, resets. He's like blocking, and it's like 2-3 seconds, and he starts to wobble, and the eyes just roll back. He falls back to the cage and just falls unconscious. Like, it was the craziest weird thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, that's what I think, Tim. It's just that, you know what, the body was just, I guess it's in shock, because when he took the punches, he didn't know how hard the last one was gonna land. The body must have just like took it and like, whoa, I'm getting kind of dizzy over here, and then falls right back. I mean, it does happen, but I mean, to catch it on film, like to catch it in a live fight, it was just unreal, man.
I mean, you see that happen with the liver shots. Right? When people get hit in the liver, and then there's like that brief second, and then they fall down. Have you ever got hit with a liver shot?
Yeah, you hit me with a liver shot. It's true, Tim. You did. We were sparring, guys. Yeah, we were sparring. It was when we were part of the Breakfast Club. We train on Sundays, and then Tim, we were all sparring, and Tim just gave me. It wasn't even hard, Tim. You gave me at least 20% of your power, and I was like this. Oh, and Curtis, shout outs to Curtis. So Curtis saw it too, and you're like, "Pretty okay?" I'm like, "Oh, I think I got clipped right in the liver." They're like, "Yeah." And Tim's like, and remember you coming? Yo, are you okay? And I'm like, "Oh man, it hurts." And it's just like a little tap. It's just one of those little quick taps.
Yeah. I remember getting hit with my first one when we were doing sparring. I think it was in MMA class or whatever, and someone hit me there, and then I just dropped. It's the weirdest feeling. But to see it happen to a guy in the head. I mean, next week we have Dr. Jim on the podcast. I don't know whether he'll be able to explain that at all, like how that happened, because he is talking about CTE next week. But that was very strange. The co-main event, we saw Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, take a bad loss. Didn't get beat up. But
you know what?
Look great.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just like, my hat goes off to Tony, because like for him to come out of that heel hook. Remember that heel hook that he got into? I was so surprised. It was like, literally, I thought it was done. I thought it was game over. And that's the thing. Like, honestly, man, sometimes when I'm watching some of these UFC fights, ever since that thing that happened with Weidman, I was like, she's like, oh, I have to like almost look away, because what if, what if, right? And so, yeah, but I mean, too bad for Tony. It was a tough loss, but it happens, right?
Yeah. Did you see what he did afterwards? Who he called out?
Who did he call out?
So at the end, after the fight, was it Rogan? Rogan goes in there to do the interview. And when he does his call out, this is Dariush, and you can see him on the picture there with his wife, and she's pregnant. He goes, "Elon Musk, I'm calling you out. Where's my Tesla? I ordered it back in December. It's still not here." And he like called him out. It was so funny, man. And then afterwards, Elon Musk did reply on Twitter and said, it's coming. I'm sorry. But that was a pretty cool thing. He said, "This was the safest car for my wife and my baby, and I got this." So that was pretty cool. I thought that was very Dariush isn't the most charismatic individual. Like, he's not, he doesn't have a crazy personality on the mic. So to see him do that was pretty awesome, especially like, look, man, you're now, is it a 6-fight win streak, a 5-fight win streak, beating Tony Ferguson? It's setting him up for huge things, man. So pretty cool to see what's happening to him. And I thought it was pretty cool. I was watching the UFC Embeddeds, like leading up to the event. Yeah. And it was pretty much just him and his wife the whole time. And she's pregnant, and she's carrying the bags for him, and they're walking around together. She's the one doing the Epsom salts with him. So I just thought that was really nice. Such a nice family guy, obviously, like really cares about his wife and the unborn child and stuff. And to see them together that whole week, and then for him to get this crazy win. When the other videos show Tony, and he's just with his, gang of guys, and they're training. So leading up, I was getting a little bit worried about Dariush, but man, he pulled it out. So Awesome
Yeah,
for him.
and that's the thing. I mean, you're seeing more like that's what is the good thing about embedded too, and just the background of people. I mean, work having there. Some people don't have a full fight team, and some people just have their their loved ones to help them out. Even when we were
Yeah.
interviewing Bam as well and his wife, right when that incident happened with him, they were it's like a team effort. Families like your sparring partner slash like trainer, right, and
Yeah.
nutritionist as well. So yeah, shouts out. So I mean, that was definitely a good win. Too bad for Tony because I was hoping Tony would take because he's such a fighter. He's been in the
I
game for so
know.
long, right? So
Yeah. And then the last event, the last fight, the main event, we saw Charles Oliveira. Woo, that was a
yeah,
close one, the first round. And then the second round, he comes back. So what do you think?
yeah. Oh man, you know what? I was thinking that Chandler would take him out first round and be game over. And yeah, I mean, he had that Chad Mendez, that Uriah Faber, that type of feel, that type of wrestling, mentality. So I was hoping he was gonna come in and finish the fight that away. But man, Oliveira just came in, just guns blaring. And the thing is, when you watch Joe Rogan, they were saying how he just honestly like he sticks to his guns. He never reaches out. He was always in defensive mode because you never know, right? You can get clipped out of
Yeah.
nowhere, the phantom punch, right? And so the whole time that he was going after the kill, his guard was still up. So, and man, Oliveira's been in the game for so long, and for him to finally get a chance at the championship and win it. And did you see the parade down in Brazil of him
Yeah.
winning
Yeah.
it? Like, oh man, and you could tell like he was so happy to bring the belt back to his hometown. Everyone's freaking out, and it's just an amazing feeling. And shout outs to Oliveira and his team, and congratulations. But yeah, but you know what? Like, don't count Chandler out, right? It's only his two fights in the UFC, so he even said, "Give me some time, and I'll
Yeah.
be on top." Right? So,
There are a lot of killers in that division, man.
yep.
When you look at that division, I mean, he was saying like, oh, I'll be back by the end of the year with that title. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, buddy, we're in May.
Mhm.
You can maybe fight twice more in the year, maybe three
Mhm.
times if you're lucky. But when you're fighting top 5, top 10 contenders, I mean, they're not going to be taking too many fights on 1 week notice.
Mhm. Mhm.
You've got Gaethje just waiting in the wings.
Yep.
You've got the winner of Dustin and Connor. You've got Beneil Dariush sitting right there. You've got You've got Felder. You've got some other people. I mean, that's a stacked division. I don't think we're going to see Chandler get another crack at the title in this year. That's for sure. There's no way.
That's
There's too many people.
Way too many
Yeah.
people, and even on Twitter, people are already calling him out, right? And you saw,
Oh, really?
so yeah, Connor was already calling him out. He's like, "Oh, I wonder who the 12th is," right? So,
Calling out Oliveira, not calling
yeah,
out
Oliveira,
Chandler.
Oliveira,
Of
yeah.
course. Yeah, everybody now wants a crack. This is a new guy in the division,
Mhm.
new champion in the division. Yeah, everybody's
Mm-hmm.
going to want to take their shot. So, yeah, pretty exciting, man. Next thing we want to talk about is UFC Fight Night Garbrandt versus Font versus Garbrandt.
Yes.
So
Okay.
this one, it's not a crazy stat card,
Mhm.
but did you want to talk about the co-main, which is Esparza versus Jan?
Yeah, you know what?
Do you know anything about either of those two people, Prince?
honestly, the only person like I'm actually my main the I am looking at is Cody. Cody's actually
Yeah. Okay.
he is the guy. Man, ever since the whole TJ Dillashaw, Cody, Team Alpha whole event, that's been actually I've always been a fan of Cody and the way he
Mm-hmm.
fights, and I mean he was coming off a couple of losses, but then he came out and he knocked out Rafael and the buzzer beater knockout. You saw that right on the last minute, and it was such
Beautiful.
a sweet knockout. And I was like, yeah, man, I honestly thought that Cody, hopefully this time around, is gonna come back and turn things around. And I mean, again, he did contract COVID-19 in between. There was a little bit of a setback for him, but I honestly think that in this fight. I think Cody's going to come back, and I think he's going to come back, full throttle. And he's aiming to get back in that championship column too. That's what I'm hoping for. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I'm on side with you on this one. I think Font's awesome. Font's amazing, and I was watching some of his highlight fights. But Garbrandt is pretty special. He's a former champ. He looks renewed, looks re-energized. Yeah, I'm going with Garbrandt on this one. The co-main event, just so you know, Prince, Yan Xiaonan from China. She's on like a 5-fight win streak. Very dominant in the strawweight division. She's looking good. She's fighting Carla Esparza, who was the first ever strawweight champion, right? She's the one that beat Rose Namajunas for the title. She's on a, I want to say, 4-fight win streak. She's been beating people like crazy. Man, if Esparza can win this fight in an impressive fashion, get a finish, like you got to finish this girl. Get a finish. That sets up Esparza Rose 2. Could you imagine how crazy that is? Like, you think about how many years ago that was. Pre Joanna, right? And then you'd have that rematch. That's pretty cool, man. I'm really hoping for that, actually. I like Yan. But to see Esparza get the win will be pretty awesome, and to see her get a title shot against Rose would be very, the world has come full cycle, man. So I think that would be pretty cool.
You know what? The thing is with Rose, like, I just still feel she hasn't picked up too much media coverage, like hype. Like, I feel like she's not getting the recognition that she deserves. Everybody always counts her out, and look at all the results, right? I mean, she's taken everybody out, and now she's got this. I mean, I think people should just respect her in terms of her fighting ability. Her stand up is just like, it's out of this world.
No, I know, but then she, we talk about Dariush, like, with the charisma on the mic and stuff like that, right? Rose is not. She's great, but she's not gonna cut too many crazy promos. That's why I think, like, Rose Esparza 2, the UFC would be able to put a whole bunch of things together for that. Like, just the drama of it being a rematch from the very first, and however many years ago that was, like 6 years ago or more than that. That would be pretty cool. So that's an exciting fight. I'm picking Esparza on that one. In the main event, I'm picking Garbrandt. You've got Garbrandt, and then between Esparza and Yan, who's your pick?
Esparza.
Because you don't know the other girl, anyways.
That's it.
All right. Should be a good night of fights, though. But we'll keep our eyes
please,
on those
Cody,
two.
man, take this one. If you take this one, Cody, and you're watching this podcast, we need you to come on and just rep it out, because I think this guy's gonna come back, guns blaring. Right? We need Cody. The Cody versus Dominic Cruz type of Cody. We need that Cody back in action again.
The dancing one and the.
Yeah, you know what? I ended up
Tim.
I ended up watching. I ended up rewatching that fight, and man, Cody, like, it looked like nothing could touch him. He was missing, dodging all the fuck. He was dodging all the punches, doing all the moves, the kicks, punches. Everything was to a T. It was like he was like floating like a butterfly, man. It was like Ali. But now, I mean, hopefully he'll get back into that type of fighter again.
Yeah, pretty awesome. All right. Next thing we want to talk about is Dynasty Gyms. This was your topic that you wanted to talk about. So
Dynasty Gyms. Okay, so you know what? So I wanted to talk about gyms that produce the most champions, and gyms that are up and coming, and literally you hear this gym and you think, oh my goodness, like, this gym right here has produced nothing but like not only champions but legends. Right. And one of the gyms that I want to talk about is AKA American Kickboxing Academy, and the champions have come out of that gym. So you've got Daniel Cormier, Kane, Khabib, all these fighters that have come out of that gym, and literally it's just like, now it's like the haven of amazing fighters. And literally, like, if you watch the videos on this gym too, Tim, like literally they're like they act like a family. Like they're really close
Yeah, yeah.
knit, especially with Daniel and also Khabib together when they're interacting in the gym. I mean, the way they joke around with each other and the way they even spar and they show each other different moves, like. Um, it's pretty cool. And I saw a clip too when Daniel and Khabib they're watching this guy pull a Russian necktie, and it's like a move that you do in wrestling, and he pulled it. I was like, whoa, that's so cool, right? And it's yeah, and but yeah, for me, definitely AKA would be one of those big dynasty gyms that produce big champs. How about you, Tim? Like, what is a gym that you could think of?
Well, so when we were preparing for this, actually, I think we had this topic to do like a few weeks ago. So uncoincidentally, I actually was picking Team Alpha Male because of the stories you hear, not necessarily because of the plethora of champions that they've produced, because they don't have too many, not like AKA and not like probably some other gyms, but just the stable of fighters that they have is pretty crazy, and like good big fighters. I mean, so aside from your TJ Dillashaw, who now is no longer there, of course, it's run by Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go through some of the lists, and I think these are current and former fighters. Cody Garbrandt, Davison Figueiredo, Chad Mendez, Joseph Benavidez, Clay Guida, Sage Northcutt, Darren Elkins, Josh Emmett. And then now, and Paige Van Zandt used to be there. And then now it's funny, they seem to be getting like a few Chinese fighters. So they've got Song Yadong, Li Jingliang, the Leech, he's going to be a champion one day, and Su Mudaerji. Mudaerji.
And you forgot about my favorite one, Turo.
Oh, yeah. That's right. No, what's his name?
Man, I can't pronounce his full name, but Turo is one of the Japanese fighters that came in.
Ishihara. Anyway, he's the I love my bitches guy. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you see gyms like that, it's pretty cool. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like a lot of times, and I'll tell you, I always try to pay attention to that, but sometimes you see like a gym go on a streak, right? Like when a gym starts to win a lot, like their other fighters start to win as well. And then the opposite happens. When fighters start to lose in the gym, it's like a whole bunch of them start to lose. And there was no better evidence of that than a few weeks ago when Jackson Winklejohn, Michelle Watterson lost, Cowboy Cerrone lost, and I feel like another guy lost too, but they were all Jackson Wink fighters. And that's pretty tough, man.
Yeah,
you know
what? It's true. It's good that you mentioned that because I've seen it happen too. I mean, over at Team Lakay. So Team Lakay is like a Filipino MMA gym in the Philippines, and literally, so they went on literally a killing spree. So they went one year where they just back-to-back champions, and then all of a sudden, some of the champions started losing, and there was just like a domino effect. And it's just coming right back up, right? It's just it's kind of weird how that happens, eh? It's just
I think I don't know what it is. Is the mentality? Is it the training that they're doing together? Is there something that's wrong? Something that's off? I mean, you talk about AKA, and everybody knows that gym spars heavy, right? Wasn't that the whole thing? They always say that those guys go very heavy on one another in the sparring.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they know. It's go full throttle, right? And they're not leaving the gym. They're not leaving the gym until they're like completely soaked. Like you see Daniel, it looked like they took a bath in sweat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, yeah. So I don't know. A lot of gyms, right? Like I always talk on this podcast about when I went to King's MMA. I mean, that's a gym that's got a ton of champions. You've got Verdum, Machida, Kelvin Gastelum. Well, he's not a champion yet, but that high level of competitor. And now Dariush comes out of there. Marvin Vettori is there. So, and that was the thing. That's what I think I said on the last podcast. Why I was picking Dariush was because Vettori was fighting there, and Vittori's been looking good, and so they've got this like positive vibe going. It's hard to say, man. Just like just like anything, when you start seeing positivity, whether it's in your daily life, your work life, whatever, positivity breeds positivity, right?
Yeah.
And wins breed wins. So Yeah, it'll be exciting to see. I mean, we'll see what the future holds for some of these gyms and stuff. But keep an eye out. Like if you're paying attention when you're watching fights, like look at fights and see what happens with certain gyms.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a good predictor of where other fights might go.
Hey, Tim, maybe we should start our own gym.
Yeah, and do what?
Sell shakes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That would be a few. Who knows? Well, what if that was a thing, Tim? Like we started on a major. What would we call it? That would take a whole year to think of a name.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? Forever. The branding, it would take forever. I do want to say to people, I apologize. There's something going on wrong with my whole computer setup and stuff. So Prince, I apologize to you, but I apologize to the fans and the viewers. Sometimes my computer's like just glitching out, and that's why on last week's podcast, I'm sure on this week's podcast, you're going to see me like freeze for a bit. But hopefully, as long as you can continue to hear me, that's good. If you're listening to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you won't notice anyway, so that's great. But for the people on visual, I apologize. I'm trying to figure things out. If anyone understands how to use StreamYard better and why my StreamYard keeps like going down in my Wi-Fi signal, even though my computer says I'm at max and my connection is so fast, I don't know. Anyways, I apologize, Princey.
Yeah, you know what? If I were you guys, you know what? Send us your comments or any suggestions at fightinsightpod@gmail.com. We would love to hear it. Because come on, let's help each other. Help me, help you, help us, help you, help us. Gain
Thank you,
clarity.
Prince.
Gain clarity.
Prince, before we go to Fight on Sight,
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you also to everybody that came out to our Instagram for the contest, for the Slice of Fire pizza giveaway contest. That was a ginormous success. We had, I don't know, 4 times the number of entrants, I thought. No, like 700 times the number of entrants. We had a lot of people enter. I really appreciate it. We announced our winner last week. By the time this podcast comes out, it will have been announced a week ago. And we do want to say thank you to our winner, who Prince. It was pretty cool because then when we looked at their Instagram, we found out that they were actually a healthcare worker. So that's kind of cool with all the things we've been doing about talking about that. But it was My Date with Food Toronto won the contest. So thank you to them for entering. Thank you to everybody for entering. We have tons of other giveaways planned. Prince, we've got quite a few lined up.
Which
is great.
And you know what? It's funny because we only got a buzz for in this Instagram and actually this podcast because we were throwing out food as soon as anyone saw anything about food. And that's the thing, Tim. Like somebody was telling me, they're like, "Man, how did you get a giveaway from Slice of Fire?" I go, "Well, Tim's a PR expert," and they're like, "Well, Slice of Fire is really good. Like their pizza's really, really good." But like, so. Thanks a lot, Tim.
When the quarantine is over and when we're able to do a podcast together, we'll get some Slice of Fire and we'll eat it during the podcast. So that'll be nice.
No, wait, you know what? Why don't we actually have it at the Slice of Fire, like actually restaurant? Can you imagine we had it like live? That would be amazing.
Yeah. All those kind of things. Well, we do have a few gyms that have reached out to us to say that when we're able to, they want us to do the podcast from their gym. So. Yeah, we'll do some on-site things, right? So that would be pretty awesome.
Oh, man, I'd have to maybe midway through our podcast, I'd probably just drop my headset and just go straight at him in the middle of class. I'm sorry, guys. That's how spontaneous this co-host is, so that's the way we do it.
We'll be able to film you getting tapped out by some people, maybe getting some liver shots.
That's it. But then you know what? We'll cut all that out and just like re-edit it and then have me... like on top, like we'll have like Matt Hughes relay rewind tapes of him having his raised up in my head, like chopped into his place.
Nice.
Like, there you go. Yay.
All right. You want to get to Fight on Sight?
All right. Fight on Sight. So today it is a vegan edition since you know what, today we've actually been talking about smoothies and.
So these are vegan. Did you know?
Yeah.
The smoothies are vegan. Yeah. So that's why the tie-in to our, hold on, how do I do it? There. The tie-in to our vegan edition Fight on Sight. So for this one, we're picking vegan fighters.
Vegan fighters. So Tim, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
I'm going to say who I was going to pick, but I didn't pick, and then I'll let you go first.
Okay.
So who I was going to pick, who I
Mhm.
didn't realize was vegan, was
Oh,
bam, Ashley
Sure.
Evans Smith.
really?
Yeah, she is vegan. And for those that don't know, last week, if you're listening to our podcast, we said that Ashley Evans Smith was going to be on this week's podcast. Unfortunately, something happened with scheduling and she wasn't able to make it, but we are going to have her on in a few weeks. So we look forward to having her. But yeah, I was going to pick Ashley Evans Smith. She is a vegan fighter. But Prince, I'll let you pick your person first.
All right. So my pick for Fight On Site Edition, Vegan Edition. So my choice is Nate Diaz. So why the smoke, man?
What?
I've got smoke.
That's the only photo I could find of Nate Diaz.
Are you serious? Come on.
He was just smoking all that pot. And it was just a cloud of smoke, man. That's all I could get.
Oh my goodness. Listen.
So, okay, but Nate Diaz is your pick?
Yeah, Nate Diaz is my pick.
And he's vegan?
And he's vegan. You know what? It's funny because I saw there was a UFC embedded, and I can't remember who he was fighting. Maybe he was calling. No, wait. Actually, he was just about to fight Conor McGregor, and
Okay.
so they were at a Fresh Foods, and they were picking out their meals. So he was in there picking out his food, and he's like, and they're saying that, oh, you're saying that, I've been vegan for a while now, and this is my choice. And I was so surprised. Like, I was like, what? I didn't know that. And I thought he was like your ultimate carnivore, like he didn't care. But yeah, so he's been a vegan for a while now, and when he was in there, and you've seen his fight record. He's been in the UFC for so long now. He's fought everybody, and and it's nothing stopping him. And on top of that, he's also an avid smoker as well, which is also green. Which is also vegan.
But that's pretty crazy, though, right? Like, you wouldn't think that fighters would be / could be vegan. Not only that, but Nate Diaz also is a triathlon competitor, right? So he does that as well on a vegan diet. So, pretty crazy.
Yeah, and even before that fight, he was saying he was training for a triathlon as well. And so for him,
That's right.
He was just it was nothing. He was just getting into it. And actually, another vegan fighter I was gonna pick. Was didn't end up picking was Jake Shields. He's actually
Who's his buddy?
Yeah, his buddy as well. So I was like, wow, that's cool.
Alrighty.
So Tim, who do you have?
To go up against Nate Diaz on this weekend, guys. Again, we put it up on Instagram on Saturday, where you can come onto our Instagram story and vote. So make sure that you do that. You will see the two fighters up against one another. My fighter is none other than
Smoke.
Again, couldn't find a good photo. Ba-bam!
Oh,
It's
man.
Diaz versus Diaz this Saturday, baby. I am going with Nick Diaz. Nick and Nate are both vegans. That is my pick. Nothing more to be said. I mean, like you said, the same thing. I mean, the two brothers have been Jake Shields, their training partner, same guy that trains with them. They all are vegan, which is incredibly impressive to me. I did not know. So I'm putting Nick up against Nate. So this will be interesting.
No, it will be interesting. But you know what? What's crazy is that Nick's been looking ripped lately. Like, there's a recent picture of him, and him is just like shredded.
Okay, this guy's never fighting again. Who are we kidding?
I know. You know what? We haven't seen him fight in
again.
years. I know. But we'll see. You know what? We'll see. We will see.
I wonder how, people always talk about it, right? That he's coming back. I mean, like, look, man, this guy's been fought in a long time. I don't know that this guy wants to come back and fight. Whenever Dana talks about it, the journalists continually ask him, like, hey, is Nick Diaz coming back? Yeah. Dana White is always very dismissive almost, right? Like, he'll say, like, oh, yeah, well, the guy's there, but I don't know that he's going to come back. I don't think the guy's going to come back. And then who would he fight? He's got to fight someone, and what if he loses? He's going to ruin that aura about him. I don't know. But on our Fight on Site, it'll be very interesting to see whether people like Nick or Nate better. Because
you know what, Tim? I'm gonna make a wild guess here, and I think this time Nate's gonna. I think everyone's gonna like pick Nate just because of he's just been out. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, man. I think for some reason I feel like people love Nick more than Nate.
Really, you know
I
what?
don't
But you know what? It's the thing because, like in Nate, when you see him in interviews, everybody remembers him for what he says after the fights.
Yeah.
He's like, "Surprise, surprise!" right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I honestly think that's gonna. I think it's gonna be gonna sway over to Nate. But I think you know what? The only way we'll figure that out, Tim, is if we go through the Fight on Site fight simulator, baby.
All right. Hold on. Let me get you over here, and we will do that. How do we do it? Bam.
All right, here we go. So, who's gonna play my part as Nate? We've got the Incredible Hulk,
We've used the Incredible Hulk before.
but he's green, vegan.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Who do I get then? A green? Am I getting a green person? Okay.
Double Hulk. But you know, because they're brothers. They're both green.
Yeah. Look the same.
They look the same mom and dad. So here we go. Nate Diaz, baby.
I think that one was Nick.
No, this is Nate.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, no,
They look the same.
He's got more. He's more bulgier, bigger, and massiver. I actually picked the one that's got a little bit bigger sticker size. So
you would know?
Yeah, definitely. Look at that.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see who wins. Prince, where can people find us if they want to find us? Where should they go?
All right, guys. So if you want to find us, if you can definitely find us at Spotify, Fight Inside Podcast, Instagram, Fight Inside Podcast, YouTube as well, Fight Inside Podcast, and Apple Podcasts as well. If you want to get into the show, you can email us at fightinsidepod@gmail.com. Okay, and so
Good job, buddy.
Thank you. And you know what? Shout outs, and also you can also find us in TikTok. Fight Inside Podcast. So if you guys are on TikTok, you can find us over there. I'll be releasing videos soon, and I'll take care of that. And Tim, don't worry about it.
Thank you, Prince. We've got a great guest lined up for next week. We have Dr. Jim. Like I've said, we've started a couple of times. We've got him coming on, talking about CTE. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about, damage to the head, damage to the brain, and how that all works out. Again, I do want to say thank you to Kim from Living Farmacy for coming on. That was really cool. It's our first ever, almost like an infomercial we were running, right? But it was pretty cool, man. I like it. I thought it was pretty good. And again, I do want to say, to use the code FIGHT on her website and get some smoothies. Man, I'm telling you, just try it. You have nothing to lose. Think about all the money you've saved during this quarantine, not going out, not doing stuff, not going out to restaurants and whatever. Just try it. Just try it. Just try the one-time delivery. I'm telling you, you'll like it.
And,
I love it.
And this is not pre-planned. I actually was drinking this whole thing down. Like, this is so good. Like, it's good. Like, more awake, and I feel like it's funny. I feel more clear. It's crazy. It is clarity, right? And plus, you guys don't forget to order your Fight Inside mugs.
Ooh, we will place a sticker on any mason jar and sell it to you for quadruple the price. No problem. You just message us and we'll do it. That's fine. We will do that. Thank you to all the people that did order our shirts. I think we've delivered most of them to the people that ordered. So thank you very much. We are continuing to take orders. If you do want a nice t-shirt, we might even change up the look of it. But for now, this is what you get. They are very nice. But if you want a t-shirt, please just message us. Prince, is there anything that you want to say before we go?
You know what? Again, guys, you can follow us YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and stay tuned because we've got a lot of good content that's going to be coming out. We've got a lot of good, amazing visitors. We're going to be amazing guests, speakers as well. So, we're going to switch it up on you guys. We're going to have different people coming in from different avenues. And once this lockdown lifts up, I think you're going to be seeing us in different events. You might be seeing us at gyms, at studios. So, so stay tuned, everybody.
All right. Thanks, buddy. And we do have, don't want to announce it yet because we're still kind of tidying it up, but we do have a UFC star / movie star pretty much guaranteed coming on. So that's kind of cool. We're excited for that. Yeah, we got lots of things planned, Prince, and I appreciate it. Thank you for all your time. Right around now, you should start to see links to some of our other videos on the screen, maybe the thing to subscribe. Please tell your friends about our podcast. We really want to keep growing the audience. So please tell your friends about this podcast. Get them to follow us on Instagram, get them to subscribe, and get them to watch the videos. We have a lot of good episodes. If you're new to our podcast, tons of great videos. Go back and watch some of our other ones. I definitely suggest the calf kick one and the body language one, but they're all amazing. And Prince, the day that this comes out, I forgot. Thankfully, I did not forget. The day that this podcast comes out, Regan Gowing, last week's guest, is fighting on Fight Pass at Lion Fight 66. She's fighting the day that this podcast comes out. If you have Fight Pass, please do go watch her fight, and let's send her some support and love.
Yeah, shout outs to coconut. Shout outs to the coconut.
How is your coconut? What did you do with it?
It's frozen right now. Frozen in time until Regan comes and picks it up and signs it. Can you hurry up and take that championship and come back and pick this thing up?
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man. We'll talk next week. We'll see what happens with Garbrandt and Font, and we'll see who wins, and we'll see if we get Esparza Namajunas too. All right, buddy.
All right.
Have a good one. Thanks,
Take
everybody.
care.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.
See ya.